ศึกฟุตบอลเนเธอร์แลนด์ยิงสดดูฟรีไม่ต้องเสียเพิ่ม3 บาทที่ช่อง Sports One.
Feyenoord were the first of the big three to play this weekend, away in Sittard where they'd won on 11 of the last 12 visits. However, it had been a narrow 1-0 success here last season, and Fortuna had also held them to a 1-1 draw in Rotterdam. Feyenoord came in on the back of a 1-0 win over AZ, and they had the first effort through Ayase Ueda. Fortuna had salvaged a late 1-1 draw at FC Twente in their last outing, and just as they did in that game, they showed they can be tough to break down, soaking up pressure before then looking to break out quickly. Jasper Dalhaus succeeded in doing that down the left, and when Casillas took a whack from David Hansko, the hope was it would lead to a penalty. However, it didn't, and all the home striker got for his trouble was a bit of a bruise. Since Robin van Persie took charge of Feyenoord on the 1st of March, they have the lowest expected goals against tally in the Eredivisie, and only Ajax have matched their points total over that time. But in the first half, his side were a little toothless, and they struggled to create clear-cut chances. That set piece well marshalled by the home keeper Matthias Brandenhorst. Van Persie and the Fortuna coach Danny Buis were former teammates at Feyenoord, and he said he knew what to expect in terms of the robust physical approach. That was in evidence here as they snapped into challenges and made life difficult for the visitors on the ball. That one on Ueda might have been fueled by another decision in the penalty area that didn't go their way. It kept them in an advanced position, and in the end, there was not just one but 2 penalty appeals in this move. The second against Gernot Trauner, who some felt had controlled the ball with his arm. That one didn't come off for Fortuna either. But a header from Makan Aiko nearly did. The French winger was well placed here when the ball came back in from Sev van Uiterlo. But he still has only 1 goal for the club on the opening weekend of the season. Referee Alex Boss wasn't exactly greeted warmly when he informed the home players that there was nothing in their penalty claims either. Fortuna had lost 4 of their 5 home games so far this year, and they didn't score in 3 of them. So, the fact that the game reached half-time without a goal wasn't entirely surprising. Ueda had the last effort. Only 2 of his 5 league goals have come this year, though, and both were in the same game against FC Twente. The deadlock was finally broken just before the hour mark by Jakub Moder, whose January signing from Brighton is proving good business. This was his 3rd goal for the club from Trauner's knockdown, and he slotted seamlessly into their midfield. After 18 months out with a serious knee injury, he played a bit part last season for Brighton and managed only 4 sub-appearances in the first half of this one. The total is already more than doubled since moving to Rotterdam. One Fortuna player who also wanted to shine was Ezekiel Balada, who's on loan from Feyenoord. Van Persie praised his progress before the game, and the Argentine would like to be part of their first team next season. But he lost out to David Hansko as he looked to work his way into the box, and Feyenoord's defender was wiped out by Eduard Michu, who earned a yellow card. He wasn't the only Fortuna player causing trouble with clumsy tackles. Van Uiterlo conceded a penalty soon after for another, stumbling as Anthony Milambo jinked his way into the box and then taking the Feyenoord man down as he fell. The referee pointed to the spot straight away, and he wasn't asked to have a look again by the VAR. Moder stepped up and went on to dispatch the spot kick, just as he had against Go Ahead Eagles and Inter Milan. It wasn't a standout performance from the visitors, but they rarely looked like being knocked out of their stride from this point. The best chances that Fortuna had to ruffle them came from Balada, 2 of them in just under 2 minutes. Substitute Luka Tunic chipped over the first cross for him, a snatched effort which carried on rising as it hit the stand. The second was a free header, and one which he took away from Casillas, which wouldn't have mattered if he'd then put it away, but it left Fortuna's number 9 angry instead, as keeper Timon Weilenreuter had no trouble dealing with it. The host's frustration got worse in the closing stages as they ended the game with 10 men. The referee let the first challenge here from Laurent Rosier go, but he got out the yellow card for the second one as Michu left his foot in on Huang. Second yellow for the midfielder and an early exit. No chances of getting anything left with him. A third goal proved beyond Feyenoord, who came close through Trauner, who saw his header diverted onto the bar by Dalhaus. Hansko with the wild follow. But their fifth straight win was already secured. They closed the gap on PSV to 2 points as a result, and they still have to play the champions next month. Next though, it's Pep's follow. Fortuna have now scored just once in their last 4 games, losing 3 of them. Willem II come here in 2 weeks.
สามารถรับชมรีรันศึกฟุตบอลเนเธอร์แลนด์ได้แล้ววันนี้ผ่านทางแอปพลิเคชัน 3BB GIGATV และช่อง Sports 1